morning, Council.
Good morning.
In the front side. So you're going to be, I guess, Eli, but oh, okay. So right here. So right here on this bench over here.
And Council, at the jail, I know we met last week. Can I get your name again, please?
Yes, Eugenie Simone Keller.
Simone Keller. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. I'm French.
Tomás el coche en esta ciudad.
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Me puede dar su nombre completo, por favor?
Isaac Orduña Uribe.
¿Isaac qué?
Orduña Uribe.
Isaac Orduño Uribe.
Thank you, Mr. Uribe. This is the time set for your initial appearance.
Gracias, señor Uribe. Es la hora fijada para su comparecencia inicial.
I'm seeing today for a new felony charge of possession of narcotic drugs.
Lo estoy viendo el día de hoy por un nuevo cargo de delito mayor de una droga, una estupefaciente.
Also seeing you out of Tucson City Court for some misdemeanor charges.
También lo estoy viendo el día de hoy por unos cargos del Tucson City Court por delitos menores.
Those are for assault, disorderly conduct, domestic violence.
Estos son por agresión, violencia intrafamiliar y alteración del orden público.
The alleged offense date for the misdemeanors are from February of this year.
La presunta fecha de los delitos menores es en febrero de este año.
Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Usted tiene derecho a guardar silencio. Todo lo que usted diga se puede usar en su contra.
You have the right to hire your...
Tiene derecho a contratar a su propio abogado.
On your felony matter, I'll appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you.
En sus casos de delito mayor, voy a nombrar a la oficina del defensor público para que lo represente.
And you have an attorney seated next to you for today.
El día de hoy tiene un abogado que está sentado enseguida de usted.
I'll be setting release conditions for you on both those cases.
Voy a fijar sus condiciones de libertad en ambos casos.
We'll start with the felony case first.
Vamos a comenzar primero con el caso de delito mayor.
I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint.
Ya he revisado el informe de la agencia previos al juicio y la queja interina.
The state's written recommendation is release to pretrial screen for steps.
La recomendación de la Fiscalía es que lo dejen en libertad bajo la agencia previos al juicio en el programa de STETS, que le hagan una evaluación.
Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
Señor Postman, ¿la Fiscalía tiene algo más que quiera agregar?
Interpreter, it's Poston, P-O-S-T-O-N. And no, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
Yes. Apology. We are requesting release of pretrial services because of his also STEPS eligibility. He has 2 dependents. There is also employment full-time, even if unverified, and there is no known priors and no DD priors. He's also noted as a level 1 nonviolence. And
One moment, please. Sí, su señoría. Nosotros nos gustaría solicitar que lo dejen en libertad bajo la supervisión de la agencia previos a juicios, ya que es elegible o cuenta con los requisitos para participar en el programa de STEPS. También tiene 2 personas que son dependientes, que dependen de él. También tiene un empleo de tiempo completo. No tiene ningún antecedente penal previo, ni tampoco ningún antecedente con respecto a la violencia intrafamiliar. Y también él tiene una calificación de nivel 1.
I haven't had a chance to explain the STEPS program to Mr. Uribe, just in case to let Your Honor know.
No he tenido la oportunidad de hablar con el señor Uribe y de explicarle información con respecto al programa de STEPS, que simplemente quería informarle.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
All right, and waive time for the preliminary hearing date for the steps eligible case.
Yes,
¿Y están dispuestos a renunciar a la regla de tiempo para fijar la audiencia preliminar para ver qué es lo que sucede con respecto al programa de STEPS? Sí, su señoría.
All right, Mr. Uribe, you may be eligible to participate in a drug treatment diversion program.
Señor Uribe, ¿es posible que usted cuente con los requisitos para poder participar en un programa de alternativa?
Would you be interested, sir?
¿A usted le interesaría participar en ese programa, señor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so the
Yes.
state does a screening to see if you qualify for it.
Bueno, la fiscalía realiza una evaluación para ver si usted califica.
If you qualify for it, you complete the program successfully, they will dismiss the felony charges.
Si usted califica para participar en este programa y termina este programa con éxito, entonces le van a quitar los cargos que tiene por delito mayor.
The program is called STEPS.
Este programa se llama STEPS.
I will set you a STEPS hearing for next Monday, November 10th at 9 a.m.
Le voy a fijar una audiencia con el programa de STEPS para el próximo lunes, que es el 10 de noviembre a las 9 de la mañana.
That's downtown at Superior Court on the 3rd floor.
Esto es en el centro de Tucson, en el Tribunal Superior, en el tercer piso.
It's very important you show up next Monday to find out if you qualify for the program.
Es muy importante que usted se presente en la corte el próximo lunes para ver si usted califica para participar en este programa.
If you don't show up for next week, they may not consider you for the program.
Si usted no se presenta en corte la próxima semana, entonces puede que no lo consideren y permitirle que participe en este programa.
All right, on your felony case, sir, I will release you to pretrial services.
Con respecto a su cargo de delito mayor, lo voy a dejar en libertad bajo la supervisión de la agencia previos al juicio.
You have to keep in contact with them as frequently as they tell you to.
Tiene que mantenerse en contacto con ellos tan frecuentemente como ellos se lo indiquen.
The pretrial services officer for the STEPS program is very hands-on. They'll send you lots of reminders of what you need to do, where you need to go.
La oficina de la agencia previos al juicio que se encarga con respecto a este programa de STEPS se mantiene mucho en contacto con usted y siempre le mandan información indicándole a dónde tiene que ir y cuándo tiene que ir.
All right, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons.
No puede tomar ninguna bebida alcohólica, ninguna droga, ni poseer ningún tipo de arma.
The preliminary hearing date is pushed back to December 18th at 1:30.
La audiencia preliminar la vamos a fijar hasta el 18 de diciembre a la 1:30 de la tarde.
And so that's pushed back so it gives time to participate in the program.
Vamos a fijar esa audiencia tan lejos para darle la oportunidad a usted que pueda participar en este programa de STEPS.
All right, on your city court case, sir,
En su caso del Tribunal de la Corte de la Ciudad, señor,
I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear.
lo voy a dejar en libertad bajo promesa de regresar a la corte.
Do not commit any acts of domestic violence.
No cometa ningún acto de violencia intrafamiliar.
No contact with Ms. Anais Orduña.
No puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la señora Anaya Orduña.
Your next court date for the city court is December 9th at 1:30 p.m.
Su próxima corte en el Tribunal de la Ciudad, o City Court, es el 9 de diciembre a la 1:30 de la tarde.
When you get released from jail today, you'll get 2 sheets of paper.
Cuando lo dejen salir en libertad de la cárcel el día de hoy, le van a entregar 2 hojas de papel.
One will be about the steps for next Monday.
Uno tiene que ver con información del programa de STEPS para el próximo lunes.
The other one will be about the city court for the December date.
El otro papel va a ser con respecto al Tribunal de la Ciudad, City Court, con la fecha de diciembre.
If you can't make court, please call the court number that'll be on the sheets of paper you'll get.
Si por alguna razón no puede asistir a la corte, por favor llame para informarle al número de teléfono de las cortes que va a estar incluidos en sus documentos.
To reschedule your day, but if you do not call them in advance and you do not show up, a warrant can issue for your arrest.
para entonces volver a fijar otra fecha para su corte. Pero si usted no les llama y no se presenta en corte, entonces sí se puede emitir una orden por su arresto.
Trial can go in your absence, sir.
Un juicio también se puede llevar a cabo aunque usted no esté presente, señor.
If you are convicted at a trial in your absence, but not able to be sentenced within 90 days,
Si a usted lo declaran culpable en un juicio y no puede recibir su condena 90 días después de haber sido declarado culpable,
you may lose your right to a direct appeal.
puede que usted pierda su derecho a una apelación directa.
So it's in your best interest, sir, make sure you show up to court so you can get these taken care of.
Así que, señor, es para su mejor interés que usted sí se presente en la corte para que se encargue de resolver estos asuntos.
You understand all that, Mr. Uribe?
¿Entendió todo esto, señor Uribe?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Gracias, señor. Ya se puede retirar. Terminamos con su caso.
All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter. I think we only had one Spanish speaker this morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. Interpreter disconnecting.
Right next to
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Eli Augustine.
All right, thank you, Mr. Augustine. This is a time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today out of Pima County Justice Court for a new misdemeanor charge of assault. And looks like you're in custody right now on something else out of Oro Valley. All right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. So, sir, on this particular case, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. That bond on the Oro Valley case is still in effect, but this is a separate case. So on this case, your ROR'd. Do not initiate contact with the victim inmate, Mr. Lewis de Cordial. Your next court date will be November 13th at 8:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court downtown. So by then, if you're released out of custody in your Oro Valley matter, sir, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court. If you're still in custody because of the Oro Valley case, then the jail will make sure you get seen on November 13th. If you fail to appear for court, sir, warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Mr. Augustine?
I hear.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
walk down this way. Hey, Chef, you got this one right now? This one? Wanna take that one? He's going back to 1-0. And Your Honor, before we continue, this is the jail. I'd like to advise the court Rodriguez Augustine refused this one.
All right, thank you.
Refused. Yeah, I'm gonna see right there.
Good morning, sir. Can I have your full name, please?
One, I think, four.
Thunder. Enos.
Thank you, Mr. Enos. This is a time set for your review hearing. This is the Pinal County out-of-county warrant. Sir, I see that you have a sentencing coming up locally this Thursday. Does that sound right? You don't have a sentencing coming up? You have a sentencing coming up this week. All right. So, this is just trailing until all your local matters have resolved. So I will reset this to next week, November 13th at 9 a.m., a week from your sentencing. So we can find out what your sentencing is by then. It's a probation available plea. So Pinal County will find out about whatever your sentencing result is by Thursday or Friday or so this week, and they can figure out when they're going to transport you on this matter back to their jurisdiction. All right, so we'll reset this till next week, sir. All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
And your Honor, Harvey Arvis is still coming down from housing.
Okay,
So
you.
we Rose Jeremy in front of me.
All right, sir, can I get your full name, please?
Jeremy Russell Rose.
Mr. Rose, this is the time set for your review hearing from the Yavapai County. All right, so I see that you were sentenced on your local matter. Everything was resolved last week.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Yavapai County was notified last week about that everything is resolved and what they want to do. They want to come pick you up. They haven't responded yet to the jail. We'll give them a little bit more time since that was just last Wednesday. I think they were notified about it. So we're going to reset this, sir, till 2 weeks out, November 17th. So by then, they should have either picked you up on it or the jail should have figured out that they're not going to pick you up on it and release you on this one, okay? So we're just going to reset it out and you should have more information before that date. You can always bond out on this case as well. You do have a bond on this case. It's 15.
Yeah, it's 1,500 cash only, right?
But yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
Thank you. See you next week.
Down so low. Do you want to wait to do him or do you want to just start with me? What is this? This one's going this in, that's right. So let's go ahead and Daniel's. Okay, Your Honor, we'll continue with Daniel. And after that, we should have Harvey Argus down here.
Thank you. All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Dylan J. Daniels.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing you today at a Green Valley Justice Court for some new misdemeanor charges. They are for disorderly conduct, 2 counts, as well as criminal damage. These are alleged to be domestic violence. All right, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed to you. All right, sir. So if I release you today, is there somewhere you can stay that is not with your parents?
Yes, ma'am.
Where would you stay, sir?
At my brother's house.
Okay. Is he local in Pima County?
Yeah.
So I'm going to release you today on your own promise to appear for your next court date. That's just fancy way of saying you're getting out of jail today. No acts of domestic violence, no contact with your parents at this time. You do have to establish a separate residence. You may return with police escort to pick up your personal belongings, or you can send a third party to pick up your personal belongings there before you stay at your brother's house. Your next court date will be November 6th at 8:30 a.m. That's Thursday this week at the Green Valley Justice Court. When you get out of jail today, you'll get a sheet of paper, sir, with the court date, the address, the phone number for the court, etc. If you can't make that Thursday date for some reason, please call them in advance to reschedule. If you don't call them, you don't show up, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Mr. Daniels?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir. Your excuse for today.
Thank you.
You already know. You ready, please?
Good morning.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Harvest Lee Harvey III.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. This is the time set for your review hearing. I know I saw you last Monday. All right, so you've already been sentenced to DOC. What I've been told is that DOC is waiting on an amended minute entry right now before they take you over to DOC custody. Maricopa County will not pick you up on this directly. They'll figure out with DOC how they want to handle you being either transported over there or appearance at future court hearings, okay? So we're just going to reset this to next Monday at 9 a.m. DOC should have picked you up by then. Okay? All right, you're excused for today. Thank you.
Pena, Johan. See what things like there, please.
All right, good morning. Can I have your full name, please?
Jovan Isaac Pena.
Thank you, Mr. Pena. This is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing today out of Tucson City Court for some misdemeanor charges of theft, obstruction, refusal to provide a true name, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Also looks like you have an adult probation hold out of Superior Court. I'm not seeing you on that today, sir. You'll see a judge separately in Superior Court on that. Right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. I'm going to appoint the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you, sir. So you have an attorney helping you on this case. On this matter, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear. So no bond on this one. But like I said, you're being held on the probation hold right now. No drugs, no alcohol, no contact with any alleged victim. Do not return to the incident location, which is the Cal Ranch on 22nd Street. Your next court date is December 19th at 9 a.m. at Tucson City Court. And so that's pushed up because they want to see what's going on with your probation hold right now before they figure out what to do with the city case. All right, if you fail to appear for court, sir, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Trial can go in your absence. If you're convicted at a trial in your absence, but not able to be sentenced within 90 days due to warrant status, you may lose your right to a direct appeal. Do you understand the consequences of failing to show to court, Mr. Pena?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. And enter not guilty, please, on your behalf. You're excused for today.
Head back out, sit on the man side, please. Pen, De La Rose.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I have your full name, please?
Delrose Eileen Penn with an E.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Penn, this is the time set for your initial appearance. I'm seeing today out of Tucson Island, anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Mr. Mendez. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state,
Thank you.
all right, and the state's written recommendation is a $2,500 bond. Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Come again now.
Thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We are asking for a low bond due to his indigent status, and also would like to
Can't pay for it.
note
Can't pay even.
that
Sure.
we also would like to note that the summons was
can't
never
pay.
received and actually returned.
That's your turn.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Mendez, your attorney brings up a point. There is a warrant out of Benson right now for a felony matter. I'm not seeing you on that, but just so you know that it's out there.
Those are
So if they want to pick you up on that, you may be served on that warrant separately. But I'm not seeing you on that right now, just so you know that's out there. All right, so I do think a bond is appropriate in this matter, given the information in the pretrial services report. All right, I'm going to propose a bond of $2,500. It will be cash or secured, released to pretrial. Sir, come back. Sir, come back. Sir, come back. Mr. Mendez, I'm not done talking to you.
sure.
All right, $2,500 cash or secured. So if you post that or if you're released, you'd be out on pretrial services. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no contact with any alleged business victims. Do not return to the TJ Maxx. Your next court date, sir, is November 13th at 1:30 p.m. for a preliminary hearing. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the public defender's office. If you fail to appear for court, sir, warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Mr. Mendez?
I don't care no more. I understand it. I don't understand it. I work with. Sir.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Great.
What's your name?
Huh?
Tell your name.
Awesome.
What's your full
Are you
name?
Mr. Price? Sir, what is your name?
Awesome.
Price, you gotta give her your whole name.
What? I need your full name.
What do people call you? What is your name, sir?
Awesome. Son of God.
Your Honor, this is Jeremy Price.
Sir, have you ever gone by the name Jeremy Price?
Awesome.
I don't know what you're saying, sir. Have you ever gone by the name Jeremy?
No, guys.
Okay, I understand you're saying you're God's son. Have you ever been called Jeremy? Your parents call you Jeremy.
Has ever called you Jeremy?
What?
Has anyone ever called you Jeremy Price?
No, thanks, man.
You gotta answer the bridge if you want her to help you.
Name awesome.
May I have one moment, John?
Go ahead.
Your Honor, is it possible to continue this hearing?
Yes, we can reset it to this evening.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, Price.
Sorry, your excuse.
You're gonna stay in here.
Walk straight up.
Your name.
Yep.
Yep.
Bingham? Hold up. Okay, okay. Okay.
Right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Daquan continues Raheem Ball.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Baumann. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for some new felony matters, possession of dangerous drugs, narcotic drugs, drug paraphernalia. You also have some misdemeanor failures to appear at a Tucson City Court for criminal trespass, paraphernalia, prescription drugs, additional paraphernalia trespass counts. All right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. On your felony matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. And you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. We're going to start with the felony matters first. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $5,000 bond and screen for steps. Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We will also like to request release to pretrial services because of the steps matter, and also notice to the court that he has no prior violent conviction as well. If the court is not inclined, we're asking for a low bond due to his indigent status.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Baumann, looks like you are pending a case out of South Carolina right now. I'm not seeing that obviously, but it looks like you failed to appear earlier this year on that matter. Court does believe a bond is appropriate. I'm going to pose a bond of $500, cash or secured. Sir, you may be eligible to participate in a drug treatment diversion program for these charges. Would you be interested?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that program is called STEPS. The state does a screening to see if you qualify for it. So I will set you a STEPS hearing for next Monday. Today's Monday, next Monday is November 10th at 9 a.m. You'll find out next week if you qualify for the program. If you qualify for it and you participate in it, you complete it successfully, they can dismiss the felony charges. All right, I'm posting the $500 bond. If you post that, or if you're released to the STEPS program, that you'd be on pretrial services, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Next court date after the STEPS hearing is a preliminary hearing on November 13th at 1:30 p.m. All right, for city court, Mr. Baumann, you have a number of failures to appear, number of open cases, so I'm going to impose a bond of $500, cash or secured. I'm going to appoint you to the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Same conditions of release, no drugs, no alcohol, do not return to any incident location. Next court date is November 7th, that's Friday at 1:45 p.m. All right, as you can see, sir, when you fail to appear for court, warrants can issue for your arrest. Please make sure you make your court dates. If you're in custody, the jail will make sure you get seen. So you'll see a judge on Friday for city court, and then you'll find out next Monday about the STEPS program. You understand all that, Mr. Baumann?
Your Honor, for the bond, the first one you mentioned was $500, and I think after you said 5,000, can we just clarify, please?
It's 500 on both. Tucson City,
On-
500, 500 on the felony case.
Thank you. One
Yes,
second.
I haven't seen Christopher.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Christopher Mark Emerson Jr.
All right, thank you, Mr. Evanson. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for two separate matters today. You have a new felony charge for aggravated driving under the influence, and then you also have a failure to appear at a Tucson City Court for driving under the influence, leaving the scene of an accident, driving under the influence extreme as well. And those are from 2023. Looks like you failed to appear for court back in June of last year. All right, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. Certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. On your felony matter, I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting release conditions for you, Mr. Evanson, on both your cases. I'm going to start with the felony matter first. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint, and the state's written recommendation is a $7,500 bond. Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We are requesting a release to pretrial services. It is noted that Mr. Evanson has two dependents and also his driver's license confirms an address, and it also is mentioned that he has full-time employment, which will be hindered if he stays in custody. If the court is not inclined, we're asking for a low bond, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court is concerned that Mr. Evanson was pending a DUI matter when he got arrested on a new DUI matter allegedly. Court does believe a bond is appropriate and impose a bond of $1,000. It will be cash or secured. So if you post that bond, you'd be released to pretrial services. Do not drive without a valid driver's license. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons whatsoever. Your next court date for the felony matter is November 13th at 1:30 p.m. That day may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the public defender's office. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. All right, on your city court case, sir, that one I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. So there's no bond on the city court, just on the felony aggravated DUI. Appointing the Tucson City Public Defender's Office to represent you, so you'll have an attorney on both your cases. Not drive without a valid driver's license, no contact with any alleged victims. Next court date is December 19th at 9 a.m. So if you're out of custody because you've posted bond on the felony matter, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court December 19th at Tucson City. If you fail to appear again, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Evanson? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Everhart, Caleb.
Good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Kayla Renee Everhart.
Thank you, Ms. Everhart. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on new felony charges of possession of narcotic drugs and paraphernalia. Also seeing you out of Tucson City Court for failures to appear, criminal trespass and drug paraphernalia. And my apologies, one more felony charges for dangerous drugs. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. On your new felony matter, I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting release conditions for you, ma'am, on both your cases. I'll be talking about the felonies first. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is screened for steps, released to pretrial. Mr. Poston, is that all correct?
It is.
Thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We are asking for release to pretrial services, also due to the steps hearing. She has an address that was verified by grandmother and no prior felony conviction, and based from the report, she also has one dependent.
Thank you. And waive time for the preliminary hearing date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Everhart, you may be eligible to participate in a drug treatment diversion program for the felony charges. Would you be interested?
Yeah.
Okay, so that program is called STEPS. The state does a screening to see if you qualify for it. So today's Monday. I'm going to set you a STEPS hearing for next Monday, November 10th at 9 a.m. That's the Superior Court downtown. So you show up at that hearing next Monday at 9 a.m. They'll find out if you qualify, if you complete the treatment successfully that they tell you to do. They can dismiss the felony charges. It's a good program, ma'am. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You have to keep in contact with them as frequently as they tell you to. The pretrial services officer for the STEPS program is very hands-on. They'll send you lots of reminders where you need to go, what you need to do to be compliant with them. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And the preliminary hearing date is pushed back to December 18th at 1:30 p.m. That date is pushed back, ma'am, so it gives you time to participate in the program if you choose. If you don't show up next Monday, they may not consider you for the program, so it's important you show up next Monday. All right, and on your Tucson City Court case, ma'am, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date, so you'll be getting out of jail today. No drugs, no alcohol. Do not return the incident location of the alleged crime trespass. All right, next court date is December 3rd at 9:30 a.m. So when you get out of jail today, ma'am, you'll get 2 sheets of paper. One will be about the steps, the diversion program for next Monday. One will be Tucson City for December 3rd. There'll be phone numbers for both of those court dates. Call them in advance if you can't make them for some reason, have to reschedule. If you don't show up, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Ms. Everhart?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, ma'am. You're excused for today.
Gonzalez, Ruben.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Ruben Rico Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on a new felony charge of aggravated driving under the influence. All right, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, Mr. Gonzalez. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $5,000 bond. Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We are requesting release to pretrial services, Your Honor, as Mr. Gonzalez is a lifelong resident of Tucson. It was verified by his father, and his father also mentioned that he can stay with him, and he will have transportation to court. He also has no non-prior felony conviction, and he was noted as a level 1 by pretrial.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Gonzalez, from the pretrial services report, it appears that you're allegedly on DUI probation right now at city court. Because of that and being arrested on a new DUI matter, court does believe a bond is appropriate. I'm going to pose a bond of $2,500. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if bond is posted. So if you're out of custody, you'd be on pretrial release. Do not drive without a valid driver's license, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons whatsoever. Next court date is a preliminary hearing on November 13th at 1:30 p.m. That date may or may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the legal defender's office. If you fail to appear for court, sir, whether it's that November 13th or a future date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Gonzalez?
Sure.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Scrivener Daniel.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I have your full name, please?
Daniel James Krippner.
Thank you, Mr. Krippner. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today on new felony charges of possession of dangerous drugs and drug paraphernalia. Also seeing you today on some failures to appear at our Tucson City Court. These range from 2020, 2023, 2024, various charges, prescription drugs, paraphernalia, theft, shoplifting, criminal trespass, additional shoplifting, trespass. And I'm not seeing you today on this, but I'm just letting you know. It looks like you had a failure to appear at a superior court. So you'll see a separate judge later this week on that failure to appear in superior court. All right, Mr. Krippner, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one, one may be appointed for you. On your new felony charges, we'll start with that first. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $5,000 bond in lieu of a no bond request and screen first steps. Mr. Poston, is that all correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
We are requesting release to pretrial services due to the steps hearing, and also he has an address in Tucson that was confirmed by his driver's license, and he apparently has 2 dependents as well. If the court is not inclined, we're asking for a low bond due to his indigent status.
Thank you. And I don't know if I said this properly. I'm sorry, Mr. Krippner. I'm appointing Ms. Rebecca Krieger to represent you on the felony matters. It's a contract attorney, Rebecca Krieger. All right. Court does believe a bond is appropriate due to the number of failures to appear available in the pretrial service report. I'm going to pose a bond of $1,000. It'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services if that bond is posted. So you may be eligible to participate in a drug treatment diversion program for these new felony charges. Would you be interested, Mr. Krippner?
Yes.
All right, so that program is called STEPS. The state does a screening to see if you qualify for it. So I'll set you a STEPS hearing for next Monday, November 10th at 9 a.m. So you'll find out by next Monday if you qualify for the program. All right, if you post that bond or if you're released cert on pretrial, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. November 13th at 1:30 p.m. is the preliminary hearing date. All right, for your Tucson City court cases, sir, I'm going to impose a bond on that one as well. It will be $500, cash or secured. I'm going to an attorney, Tucson City Public Defender's Office. If you post that bond or if you're released, no drugs, no alcohol, no contact with any alleged victims, do not return to any incident locations. Next court date is going to be November 7th. That's Friday at 1:45 p.m. All right, so you'll see a judge on Friday, sir, on your Tucson City court case matters. You'll have an attorney helping you out, and then you'll find out next week about the steps if you qualify for the diversion program. If you fail to appear for court, sir, warrants can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Krippner?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today. All right, good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
You did, Laura.
Thank you, Mr. Lara. This is a time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for a warrant out of Pinal County for dangerous drugs and paraphernalia. Looks like the offense date is June 17th of 25. All right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. So this is an out-of-county matter, sir. Looks like a warrant issued back in September out of Pinal. It lists a $2,500 amount. There is an administrative order in Pima County which states that the initial appearance judges are to honor the out-of-county warrant amount. So I'm going to abide by that administrative order. I'm going to pose a bond of $2,500 cash. That is the amount on the warrant out of Pinal. You're welcome to pay that, sir. If you do not, then Pinal County will make sure that they pick you up on this. So I'll set to review hearing December 3rd at 9 a.m. Pinal County should pick you up shortly within the next week or so. You understand all that, Mr. Lara?
I do. I wasn't aware of it for reason. I didn't have a deal box, so I wasn't aware that I had a warrant display.
Okay. All right. Well, you can let the next judge know when you see them in Pinal. All right. You're excused for today. Thank you.
Hey,
All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
First Mountaineer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Leonard. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing today for 2 separate matters. You have a felony matter for possession of narcotic drugs. And then you have a misdemeanor out of justice court that is for trespass, threatening, intimidating, consuming spirituous liquor in public and disorderly conduct. All right, so you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. In certain instances, if you cannot afford one may be appointed for you. All right, for the felony matter, Mr. Poston, looks like the state is requesting to dismiss without.
that's correct.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simone Keller, did you want to be heard?
What is the state required? Please.
Dismissing without prejudice.
No.
All right, so Mr. Leonard, the state's requesting to dismiss your felony matter without prejudice. I'm going to grant that request. So it is dismissed without prejudice. The state technically can file in the future if they choose to, but right now it's dismissed without prejudice. You don't have the felony case right now. All right, so you're released on that one. And then on your misdemeanor case, that's out of justice court. All right, so are you living in Phoenix?
Yeah.
And what do you do for work?
Uh, not right now. I'm designing construction.
You're doing are you self-employed?
Yeah, construction. Yeah.
You have a name of a business?
I haven't thought of it yet. It was just it's in the making.
Okay, but you're living in Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
Do you know the address?
So it's being built. Everything is in the making for me, so everything is not everything is not right away right now because I'm
May I
building.
have a moment, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
Thank you. We are ready, Your Honor.
Okay. So what is your address right now?
702
702, is that in,
South 702 South 6th Avenue.
okay, that's in Tucson?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not living in Phoenix.
No, I forgot I moved from Phoenix, but I still pay on the property in Phoenix, but I moved out of Phoenix like a couple years ago.
Okay. And is that your house on Fifth Avenue or is that a friend or family?
That's me.
That's your house. Okay.
Yeah.
You live with anyone there?
My girl, my wife, she got my nerves, but it's cool.
Okay, so I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date for these justice court cases. That's a fancy way of saying you're getting out of jail today. No drugs, no alcohol, sir. No contact with any alleged victim. Do not return to the Circle K on Oracle Road. Your next court date is November 13th at 8:30 a.m. at the Pima County Justice Court. When you get out of jail today, Mr. Leonard, you'll get a sheet of paper with all the information on there. There'll also be a phone number for the courthouse. If you can't make that court date next week, please call them in advance to reschedule. If you don't call them, you don't show up, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Mr. Leonard? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Make sure you make up to court. Your excuse for today, sir.
All right, thank you.
Everybody sure one walking. Forrest. Both arms, Renee.
All right. Good morning, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Good morning. Matthew Morris.
Middle name, Scott?
Matthew Scott Morris, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing today for some new felony charges of possession of dangerous drugs and drug paraphernalia. Right, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Legal Advocate's Office to represent you. Name an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is release to pretrial screen first steps. Mr. Poston, is that all correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Ms. Moni Killer?
We're requesting the same release to pretrial services with because he's steps eligible. He also has an address that is confirming Tucson background, have a no dangerous prior, and he needs help with mental health and substance abuse, which is easier to get out of.
Thank you. And waive time for the preliminary hearing date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Morris, you may be eligible to participate in a drug treatment diversion program for these charges. Would you be interested?
Yes.
Okay. Steps. The state does a screening to see if you qualify for it. If you qualify for it, you participate in it, you complete the treatment and such successfully, they will dismiss the felony charges. So it is a good program.
Awesome.
All right. So I will set you a steps hearing. Today's Monday. I'll set you a steps hearing for next Monday, November 10th at 9 a.m. at the Superior Courthouse, 3rd floor. We'll find out next week if you qualify for it. All right, I'm going to
All right.
release you to pretrial services. That means you have to keep in contact with them as frequently as they tell you to. The pretrial services officer is very hands-on regarding the STEPS program. They'll send you lots of reminders on things of where you need to go, what you need to do. All right, no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons while your case is pending. Your next court date, sir, after STEPS is the preliminary hearing December 18th at 1:30 p.m. And they push that back out so it gives you time to participate in the program if you qualify for it. The biggest thing is making sure you show up next Monday. If you don't show up, they may not consider you for the program, so it's important you show up next week.
Okay. I'll do that.
If you fail to appear for court, sir, warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Morris?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Thank Thank you.
Thank you.
And Anthony. I'm sitting down there.
All right, good morning, sir. Can I have your full name, please? All right, thank you, Mr. Penn. This is a time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing today on new felony charge of aggravated assault, domestic violence. Sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you. I name an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, sir. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation is a $5,000 bond. Mr. Poston, would the state like to be heard further?
No, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
Yes, we are asking for release to pretrial services. He has no non-felony priors, no DV prior. He's also only 29 years old. And he was noted as a level 1 non-violence by pretrial services.
Level 1 violent.
Level 1 non-violent. Yeah, I had said.
I think it says
Oh,
violent.
words. Oh, okay. Apology, Your Honor.
Okay. Court does believe a bond is appropriate given the allegations in the interim. Mr. Penn, I'm going to impose a bond of $5,000. It'll be cash or secured. You'd be released to pretrial services if that bond is posted. No drugs, no alcohol, no acts of domestic violence, no weapons whatsoever, no contact with your brother Noah. My understanding is that he's moved out of the house where your grandma lives, but don't try to go find him or anything like that. Your next court date, sir, is a preliminary hearing on November 13th at 1:30 p.m. That date may not go forward, so please keep in contact with your attorney, the public defender's office. If you fail to appear for court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand all that, Mr. Penn?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Amigo.
I just want to let you know, understand, those are considered to.
All right, good morning, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Francis Marie Samaniego.
All right, thank you, Ms. Samaniego. This is the time set for initial appearance. I'm seeing you today for a post-indictment matter, CR 2025-4099. The charges for possession of dangerous drugs. Alleged offense dates from August 10th of this year. Also seeing you on a failure to appear for criminal trespass. a failure to appear as well. So both of these are failure to appear. One's for the drug charge from August. The city court failure to appear for trespass is from July of this year. All right, ma'am, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to hire your own attorney. On your felony matter, I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and you have an attorney seated next to you for purpose of today. I'll be setting some release conditions for you, ma'am, on both your matters. I have reviewed the pretrial services report and the interim complaint. The state's written recommendation for the felony matter is $500, which is the amount of the failure to appear at the arraignment bond amount. Mr. Poston, is that all correct?
It is.
Thank you. Ms. Simone Keller?
Ms. Samaniego wanted me to let the court know that she had a hearing today to quash the warrant. She was in contact with her lawyer. She was just arrested last night. And for those reasons, we're also asking for release to pretrial services based on her information. It was not verified, but she's a lifelong resident of Tucson, has an address here. And if the court is not inclined, we're asking for a low bond due to her indigenous status.
All right, thank you. I do see that there was a motion to quash back on October 13th. That was actually in front of me. It looks like Ms. Samaniego did not show up for the motion to quash hearing. All right, thank you. Court does believe a bond is appropriate given that Ms. Samaniego failed to appear for court and also did not keep in contact with pretrial previously. I'm going to pose a bond of $500. He'll be cash or secured, released to pretrial services. If that bond is posted, and you have to make sure if you do post that bond, you keep in contact with pretrial as frequently as they tell you to. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. All right, next court date is November 10th at 1:30. That's next Monday for your criminal arraignment. If you're out of custody by then, it's up to you to make sure you show up to court. If you're still in custody, the jail makes sure you'll get seen. All right, for your city court case matter, I'm going to release you on your own promise to appear for your next court date. I'm going to appoint you an attorney, the Tucson City Public Defender's Office. Only condition for release on that one is do not return to the incident location, which is 8530 East Broadway. Next court date is December 19th at 9 a.m. They pushed that back, ma'am, so they can see and monitor what's going on with your felony case. As you can see, when you fail to appear for court, warrants can issue for your arrest. Do you understand all that, Ms. Samaniego?
Yes.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You're excused for today.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Howard, you have a warrant in Tucson City Court. You're charged for trespassing, and you have a felony hold, so you're going to remain in that in custody on that felony. On this misdemeanor, I'm going to order that you not have contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the incident location. Let's see. don't have any contact with the alleged victim, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm releasing you on these conditions. You have a court date of December 19th at 9 o'clock in Tucson City Court. You will not be there. However, I'm appointing the city public defender who will be there representing you. You're excused.
Am I released on pretrial services or I don't understand.
This is a misdemeanor, sir. You are released on the city matter. You are not released on the felony. Okay, you have a
Okay. The felony is the bond. The bond on the.
I don't know anything about the felony except that you're
Okay, I'm
being held
sorry.
on it, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about a misdemeanor case. You're excused.
All right. Martinez.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is the Spanish interpreter. According to my list, I don't see any Spanish speaking requiring an interpreter.
Can the jail verify no Spanish speakers?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. You're excused then.
Thank you, Your Honor. Interpreter will now disconnect.
Okay. Hello, what's your name, sir?
Cesar Martinez.
Martinez, you have charges in Tucson City Court, shoplifting, 2 counts, and assault, no injury. I'm going to order that you not return to the store, do not have contact with the alleged victim. You are being released on the city charges. You do have a justice court hold that you will remain in custody on. Your city court date is December 19th at 9 o'clock. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you. They will be in court representing your interests. You will not be transported to that court date, though. You're excused.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Hello, what's your name?
Armando Montaño.
You have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on charge of shoplifting and possession of drug paraphernalia. You failed to appear last month. Why was that?
Well, I just got that cleared up like a week ago.
If I let
and they
you,
gave,
excuse me, if I let you go, are you going to go to court as you're supposed to?
yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Your court date will be November 13th at 8:30, Pima County Justice Court. You're excused.
Thank you. Okay.
To the 45 into the house. Copy what's on for me when he's to the 45. 6. Following on control. Not here, I will.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Robert Nikiba.
Okay. You are charged with theft. This is from today. I'm going to order that you not return to the location of the alleged incident. Don't have any contact with alleged victims. You already have a pending case in city court with a court date of December 19th at 9 o'clock, and you're already represented by the public defender. This will be a non-transport date. You will not be transported to the court date. However, your public defender will be there representing you. December 19th, 9 o'clock, Tucson City Court. You're excused.
All right, thank you.
Hello, what's your
Tony.
Tony? What's your last name?
Tony down.
Thank you. With assault, domestic violence assault, three counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any act of domestic violence, don't have any contact of any kind with Phil Doe, and stay away from her home and workplace. I'm going to release you with those conditions. Your court date in Sahuarita Municipal Court is November 18th at 8:30.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Hello, what's your name?
Hi, Clayton Mitty.
You're charged with domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, don't possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact of any kind with Jody Meddy, and stay away from her home and workplace. You do get a one-time return visit with a police escort to get your belongings. You're released with these conditions. Your court date at Pima County Justice Court is November 13th at 10:30. You're excused.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, what's your name?
My official.
You charged with domestic violence, threat, and intimidation. Really? So, I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, you not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Do not have contact of any kind with Visha, and stay away from her home and workplace, with the exception that you get a one-time return visit with a police escort to get your belongings. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Appoint the public defender to represent you. If you're still in custody, you'll be seen on video November 12th at 1:30. If you post the bond before then or release before that date, then it'll still be the same date and time, but with you there in person, Tucson City Court. You're excused.
Oh, that's right.
Hello, what's your name?
Timothy Michael Schultz.
You have a bunch of cases in Tucson City Court, most of which you've already been seen on, the ones you have not yet been seen on. You were charged today with possession of drug paraphernalia. You were charged on October 4th with shoplifting. October 24th, another shoplifting. September 28th, possession of drug paraphernalia. And August 23rd, drug paraphernalia. I'm ordering that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact with any alleged victims. Stay away from all the incident locations. Bond is set in the amount of $500. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. And you're going to be seen on video November 13th at 1:45. If you post the bond and are out of custody before that date, it will remain your court date, but with you there in person rather than on video. And the city public defender will be representing you. You're excused. Hello, what's your name? Okay. Folks at the jail need to unmute.
Andrew Valdez.
Andrew Valdez, thank you. Okay, sir, you have numerous cases in Tucson City Court, most of which you've been seen on already. The newer ones are November 3rd today. You were charged with trespassing and possessing of drug paraphernalia.
Okay.
You were charged on June 24th, possessing of paraphernalia, 3 counts, and possession of prescription-only drugs. And failure to appear. And April, no, that's the wrong date. July 18th, you were charged with trespassing and you failed to appear in court. Don't go back to any of the incident locations. Don't have contact with any alleged victims. possess or consume alcohol or illegal. Bond is set in the amount of $500. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. You're going to be seen on video on November 7th at 1:45. If you bond out before then, in-person date will be. Can we hold down the background noise? Thank you. December 13th at 9 o'clock will be your out of custody date if you bond out. You're excused.
Then.
Continue to AM. They said there's a change. Rodriguez, they want to continue earlier. It's 103. They said they may bring him up in the restraint chair towards the end of the session.
I really think it will.
Okay.
Hello, what's your name?
Third.
I didn't hear your name because you were muted.
Sorry. Alton Fortis Harrison third.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Harrison, you're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault, and the other charges I imagine you want me to omit reading. Counsel? Okay. I'm going to order at a minimum that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You're not to have to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons, don't have contact with Daniela Havercorn or any of the other alleged victims, stay away from their home and workplace. And there are other instructions on here that you can read for yourself. $50,000 bond is what the state is requesting. Does the defense wish to speak?
Judge, we'd just like to point out that he doesn't have any felony priors, and it does not look like he has any sort of NVCA flag. And he does have support with his mother. So we'd ask you to consider that when you're considering the bond amount.
Considering the facts of the case, I think 50,000 is appropriate. November 13th, 1:30 is the next court date, and the public defender is appointed. You're excused, sir. Are we continuing price?
Just him. He's here, Judge.
Oh, he is? Oh, okay. Mr. Price, Jeremy, is that your name? First name?
Yeah.
Okay. You've got both felony and misdemeanor charges. Your felony is resisting arrest. And on that, prosecution is recommending a $20,000 bond. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, we'd be asking for something much lower than the $20,000 bond. This is considered a nonviolent offense. It looks like his last offense was in 2020, and he doesn't have an active NVCA flag. I also don't have any verified employment, so we'd ask if you can consider that in your bail decision.
We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. Given his prior felony convictions and his history of violence, as well as the history he's demonstrated with lack of compliance and lack of court orders and police officer directions, I would ask that he be held on a $20,000 bond.
Thank you. All right, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or weapons, do not indicate contact with the alleged victim. Bond is set in the amount of $10,000. Your next court date is November 13th at 1:30. Which attorney agency is being appointed? It doesn't say. Public defender. Unit.
Do I pass you're going to flex it up there and the restraint chair up and the judge should know he can think them citizens. Yeah, we can probably have that. Not all.
Okay, you have a couple of, he needs to come back. We're not done yet.
Well, yes, offender 1036.
All right, you've got a couple of misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court, both of them trespassing. One is from today, and the other one is from last Friday. Not guilty on both. Don't have contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident locations. I'm releasing you on those cases. Since you're being held on the felony, I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you in misdemeanors. And Your court date is going to be December 19th at 9 a.m. You are not going to be transported to city court. However, the public defender for the city will be there representing you. Someone from that office will be out there to see you. You're excused.
No.
Hello, what's your name?
Adam Chappelle.
No, thank you. All right, you've got two matters, one of which you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court on a charge of misconduct involving weapons and listing a $2,000 bond. And you've got a new complaint, dangerous drug for sale, narcotic drug for sale, possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 counts of misconduct involving weapons. On the new complaint, the state's recommending a $10,000 bond, and on the warrant, they're recommending the $2,000 bond listed in the warrant. Let's hear from the defense.
Judge, on the warrant case, we are asking for a lower bond. It looks like he wasn't previously arrested from what I can tell, and that it was a summons was sent to his address, which is different than the one he provided to pretrial services. So I think it's very likely he just never got that summons. On the new case, we'd also be asking for something less. He is unemployed, and this is considered a nonviolent offense. He does not have an active NBCA play.
Let's hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. He is a 3 out of 3. And while these are just allegations, it is concerning that these are repetitive allegations that are being held against the defendants. The state is asking for the $10,000 bond.
All right, thank you. On the Superior Court matter, bond is set in the amount of $1,000. Your court date is November 10th at 1:30. Public defender appointed. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. And on the new interim complaint, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Bond on that matter is set for $1,000 as well. November 13th, 1:30. Public defender appointed. You're excused.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name?
Kenidra Monique Bimo.
Okay. You're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, dangerous instrument. The state is asking for a $15,000 bond at a minimum. I'm going to order that you not possess any firearms or other weapons, no alcohol or illegal drugs. Do not have contact of any kind with I.C. Mitchell and stay away from her home and workplace. No acts of domestic violence. We'll hear from the defense as to the request for the bond.
Judge, I just confirmed that she does not share housing with the victims, and one of the victims confirmed that, and the other was not able to be reached. So, to me, I think that's accurate. She does have full-time employment at a gas station, so she's not making a ton there. And so for those reasons, we're asking you to consider that in your bond amount.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. She is a 4 and a 3. She took a firearm and pointed it at the victims and threatened to shoot them, which the state believes is particularly concerning given the criminal history that's listed. She does have prior felony convictions. She has a significant history of failing to appear for court hearings. She's facing mandatory prison time and has a history of violent behavior. So the state believes a $15,000 bond is appropriate.
15,000, November 13th, 1:30. Legal defender appointed. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Just give the judge.
Christopher Fritz.
Okay. Mr. Fritz, you're charged with possession of a dangerous drug. The state is requesting that I hold you on a $1,500 bond. Is this person steps eligible?
It does not appear so, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have that he is steps eligible. So I'd ask that we just put him through the hearing and they can decide at the hearing.
All right. Does the defense wish to be heard as to the matter of the requested bond?
And Your Honor, just to clarify, I did double check and he is steps eligible. I apologize for that error.
Okay, thank you.
Judge, we'd be asking that you consider releasing him to pretrial services. It looks like this is a personal possession drug count. He claims to have housing and employment. So for those reasons, we are asking release.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, typically in steps cases, we do release to pretrial services. However, in this particular case and a couple others this evening, based on the risk assessment and the significant failure to appear history, we are asking for a lower bond. And in this case, the state believes that given the fact that he was on probation and he has a violent history, that a $1,500 bond is appropriate.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $1,000. No alcohol or drugs. Pretrial services supervision. If the bond is posted, don't return to the incident location. Contact assigned probation officer first working day following release. November 13th is your preliminary hearing at 1:30. And as for steps, I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please respond yes or no to the question. You may be eligible to participate. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate, complete the.
I don't need to hear none of this shit, yo.
You think that helps you?
I said I didn't need to hear none of this shit, yo.
Okay.
I'm gonna lose my house and everything because you didn't want to let me go, yo. Miss me with all that other bullshit.
Okay. Forget steps. November 13th, 1:30, public defender. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Idris Hill.
You got both felony and misdemeanor charges. Your felony charges: domestic violence, kidnapping, domestic violence assault, domestic violence threats and intimidation, possession of narcotics, possession of a deadly weapon by a prohibited possessor, possession of a deadly weapon during the commission of a felony, and prevention of telephone in use of telephone in an emergency. We're going to order no alcohol or drugs. You are, let me double check here. What is this? Yeah. No acts of domestic violence. Do not possess any firearms or other weapons. Don't have contact of any kind with Daisy Marin, and stay away from her home and workplace. The state is recommending a $20,000 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel.
Thank you, Judge. We'd ask that you consider the fact that I don't have any verified employment at this time. So, we need you to consider that in his bond amount. It also doesn't look like he has any violent priors, and his last offense was from 2020.
He has a violent prior in the domestic violence assault from that was a while ago.
I'm just reading the pretrial services workup.
Okay. Well, let's hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. He is a 5 and a 5 on the scales. He struck the victim in the face multiple times and then grabbed her throat, which is significant in and of itself. But this occurred while the defendant was driving. And after she kept trying to get away, he drove faster and more erratic and then took her phone and prevented her from calling the police. I think that not only is he a danger to the victim, but the fact that this took place while he was driving a vehicle indicates that he's a danger to the public at large. And as you did indicate, Your Honor, he does have a violent prior and a history of failing to appear. So the state believes that a $20,000 bond is appropriate.
Bond is set in the amount of $20,000. November 13th, 1 o'clock is your court date at Green Valley Justice Court. And the public defender is appointed. As to the misdemeanor case, you have been charged with possession of drug paraphernalia. We're going to order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't return to the incident location. You're being released on the misdemeanor. I am appointing the city public defender to represent you You're gonna have what's called a non-transport date, December 19th, 9 o'clock at Tucson City Court. You will not be present at that court date. However, the city public defender will be present and representing you there. Okay, you are excused. Oh, I forgot to put felony hold on there. Oh, yeah. Hello, what's your name, sir?
Andrew Lopez.
You have you have felony charges as well as a case in Tucson City Court. Felony wise, you're charged with aggravated assault and misconduct involving weapons.
This is Lopez.
I'm sorry?
This is Lopez. They skipped a couple.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Andrew Lopez.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. We've got felony and misdemeanor cases on Mr. Lopez. Felony charge is possession of narcotics for sale. And let me double check here. He's got a probation hold. The state's recommending a $10,000 bond. And he's got another interim complaint, destruction of evidence. And the state's recommending a $10,000 bond in that one as well. Defense wish to be heard on these bond requests.
Yes, Judge. In terms of the for sale charge, the today's date, I have an argument on probable cause. It looks like in the interim complaint, they're alleging that he was in the car and then all of these different types of drugs were found in the safe. And there's no indication he has any relation to that safe or any relation to those drugs.
Okay, let me review it. State wish to respond?
Yes, Your Honor, and I do recognize that this is a little bit complicated, but if we reference the co-defendant's probable cause statement, we would see that after the safe was opened and the components were, or that the substances were found, Andrew admitted that everything belonged to him. And that co-defendant is, the PC statement is under Courtney Swanson. So I recognize that it might not have been copied and pasted into the correct form, but I don't believe that there's not probable cause when in fact he made admissions.
Judge, I disagree. It has to be under his name and his case number. They don't have it in that case file.
Why are we going to somebody else's case to charge him? It doesn't say.
I completely understand, Your Honor. I'm just making the argument that they are co-defendants and the probable cause statements are very similar in nature. I think that the statement that the defendant in fact made admissions that everything belonged to him may have just been omitted from this particular form.
Well, you're going to have a chance to correct it. But since it's not correct tonight, I'm dismissing it without prejudice. All right, so the remaining charge is the felony charge is the what is this? Destruction of evidence. Defense wish to be heard on that bond request.
Yes, Judge. It looks like this is an old case. This is from 2022. I don't know why I don't really know why this isn't a direct indictment and why this is now an interim complaint. But he's accused of swallowing pills. So I don't think that's the type of offense that warrants a bond at all, much less any significant bond. I think the probation hold was probably put in place because of the charge you just dismissed. I don't even know if that probation hold is valid, given how old this case is, but that would be my argument.
All right. We'll hear from the state.
Your Honor, in light of all of the facts that have transpired during the hearing, the state doesn't have any additional argument to make other than what's been submitted on the form.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $25,000. The probation hold still exists, so he'll be held on that anyway. November 13th, 1:30. Public defender appointed.
Judge, did you say 25,000?
2,500.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the remaining matter, well, actually, I guess there are a couple of remaining matters. There's a warrant on a drug paraphernalia case out of Marana City Court. He's released on that with a court date of December 3rd at 10 o'clock a.m. And there is a case in Tucson City Court, possession of drug paraphernalia and failure to appear. This is from 2021. The defendant never having appeared on it. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't go back to the incident location. Mr. Lopez is released on this misdemeanor case. The city public defender is appointed to represent him. We're going to set a non-transport review for December 19th at 9 o'clock at Tucson City Court. Your public defender will be in court representing you, sir. You will not be transported to the court date, though. Someone from the city will be out to see you before that date. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Averaldo Holguín.
Okay, Mr. Holguín, you've got felony charges as well as a misdemeanor case from Tucson City Court. The felonies are charges are aggravated assault and misconduct involving weapons. We're gonna order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't possess any firearms or other weapons. don't have contact with the alleged victim, and stay away from the incident location. You have a Department of Corrections hold. The state is requesting on the felony a bond of $50,000. And we'll hear from the defense.
Thank you, Judge. We'd be asking for a much lower bond. He does have the DOC hold. He's also unemployed and homeless, and he doesn't have an active NVCA flag. I'm also not seeing any pilot priors, so we're asking you to consider a lower bond.
State wish to be heard.
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant is a 4 and a 5. While he does have a parole violation and a DOC hold, the defendant pointed a gun at the victim's head and while being a prohibited possessor, and the state is not willing to rely on the fact that there's a DOC hold. So the state is requesting a $50,000 bond in light of his history of failing to appear for court hearings, the fact that he was on parole, the fact that he has prior felony convictions and a history of violence.
All right, thank you. November 13th, 1:30, 50,000. And the public defender is appointed. The misdemeanor cases in Tucson City Court charges are 2 counts of trespassing and 1 drug paraphernalia. We're going to order no contact with victims, stay away from the incident location, and do not possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're released on the Tucson misdemeanor. Public defender, the city public defender is appointed. We're going to set a non-transport review for December 19th at 9 o'clock. The city public defender will be present at that hearing. You will not be there, sir, but someone from that office will be out to see you before the court date. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Rusty Jones.
Jones. Okay.
Jones.
I'm sorry?
Jones.
Okay, Rusty Jones, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you are charged with possession of a dangerous drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please answer the question yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed. without your ever being formally charged. Let me double check something here. Are you, this next sentence is not a promise that you're going to be released. It is part of the form though that I'm reading. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes.
Okay. The state's asking for a $500 bond. Seems to indicate here that he has a failure to appear history. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, this is a drug case. He's steps eligible. It looks like he has one felony prior from 2018, which was also a personal possession drug case, and he was successful in completing probation. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag, so I'm not really seeing a reason for a bond in this case.
We'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. As I previously mentioned, the state typically releases or agrees to release to pretrial services on these types of cases, but given the fact that he's a 5 and 5 and he has a history of failing to appear, a significant history, I would say, and he's a high-risk assessment with prior felony convictions, the state is asking for a nominal bond of $500.
All right, I'm going to release you the supervision of pretrial services. STEPS hearing is scheduled for November 10th at 9 o'clock. Does the defense waive time for the preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
December 18th at 1:30 on that, public defender appointed. And the STEPS hearing is November 10th at 9 o'clock. You're excused, sir.
Right now.
Pima.
Hello.
Oh, what is your name?
Nancy Moreno.
You've got several pending cases. You've got an arrest warrant out of Pima County Pima County Superior Court listing charges of taking contraband into a correctional facility, possession or use of a dangerous drug and drug paraphernalia. $1,000 bond is listed on this warrant. And then you've got some other cases that we'll get into. The state's asking for a $2,500 bond. We'll hear from the defense on that request.
Judge, given the probation hold, we're asking for the bond or the warrant amount of $1,000.
Any response from the states?
No, Your Honor.
$1,000. We'll note the probation hold. November 10th, 1:30 is your court date and public defender is appointed. You also have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a driving under the influence case from last year, listing a bond of $100. I'm releasing you on that warrant. Your court date is November 18th at 11 a.m. Assuming you're still in custody, that is subject to change. And then you've got some cases in Tucson City Court. Yeah. Got warrants on a shoplifting and drug paraphernalia case from 2020. Shoplifting, obstruction, and trespassing case also from 2020. Driving under the influence, criminal damage. Also, this one is from 2023. Bond on your city court case is at $1,000. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. They previously represented you. All Prior conditions of release on the misdemeanors remain in effect. Video review is scheduled for November 7th at 1:45. December, and I've noted the other holds on you. And December 8th at 9 o'clock if you are out of custody before November 7th. You're excused.
Well,
Hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Adam Romero, sir.
You've got new charges of theft of means of transportation, burglary in the 3rd degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of tampering with physical evidence, narcotics, drug possession, and drug paraphernalia. The warrant lists a $500 bond, which is what the state is requesting. And then on the new complaint, the state's requesting another $500 bond. We'll hear from defense counsel. I see your lips moving, but I'm not hearing.
sorry, Judge. Sorry, Judge. I was talking to my client.
Oh,
I don't have any objection to those bonds.
all right, 500. Superior Court date is November 10th at 1:30. Legal advocate appointed. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't return to the incident location. And on the other matter, no contact with victims, stay away from the incident location, no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. That court date is, and $500 bond. That court date is November 13th at 1:30. Legal advocate appointed. And that's it. You're excused. Hello, what's your name?
Mark Sotelo.
Kelly, in charge with second-degree burglary, theft of means of transportation, domestic violence, criminal damage, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving under the influence. The state's recommending a $75,000 bond. At a minimum, I'm ordering that you not commit any acts of domestic violence, don't drive without a license, and do not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. No contact with Nancy Sotelo except over the phone, and no contact of any kind with Wyatt Kimbler. Stay away from their home and workplaces. $75,000 is the request from the state. We'll hear from the defense.
Judge, we'd be asking for a lower bond. Mr. Sotelo is not employed, and it's been a little while since he's been employed. His parents are obviously the victims here and also are not going to bond him out, given their statements in the interim complaint. So we'd be asking, he is a level 2 on the pretrial services matrix, so we'd be asking for a lower bond than the $75,000.
Anything else from the state?
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like he's a 3 out of 3, and as defense said, the victim objects to release but welcomes phone contact. The state would know of particular concern. This is one of the few times that a police officer submits in their probable cause statement their concern and requests that the defendant be held without bond. The state is asking for a $75,000 bond in light of his significant failure to appear history, the fact that he does not have a known residence, he's pending felony charges, he's a continual risk to the victim, that he continues to victimize them multiple times, and that he used a vehicle that was involved in a collision during this incident.
All right, thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $75,000. Your court dated November 13th at 1:30. The public defender is appointed. Your excuse, sir. Hello, what's your name?
Lynn Swanson.
I'm going to read a statement to you, followed up by a question. Please answer the question yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. This next sentence is not a promise that you are going to be released. I'm just reading it off the pre-printed form. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the state is asking for a $500 bond. I am going to, at a minimum, order no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons, and stay away from the incident location. As to the matter of the bond request, we'll hear from the defense.
Can you release her to pretrial services? This is a personal possession drug case. She has verified housing and support with her mother. She does have priors, but it looks like the last one is from 2019, and it was also a personal possession case. So given all those factors, we'd be asking you to release her to pretrial.
Okay, we'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. She is a 6 and a 5 on the scales. She is eligible for STEPS, but she has a significant failure to adhere history and obviously the high risk assessment. She has prior felony convictions and a history of violent behavior. And regardless of what the court orders as a possible release condition, the state would request that she has no contact with the co-defendants in this matter.
Okay, we'll add that. That's not a problem. No contact with co-defendants. That bond in the amount of 250, November 13th, 1:30 is your preliminary hearing, and the steps hearing is November 10th at 9 o'clock. The legal advocate is appointed to represent you. You're excused.
You can say the minutes.
Hello, what's your name?
Randall Blisto.
I'm sorry, say again.
Randall Blisto.
Okay, thank you. You charged with shoplifting, class 4 felony. I'm going to order that you not return to any Circle K store, don't have contact with any alleged victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs. The state is asking for a bond of $2,500. And after we get done with this case, you've got a couple more. We'll hear from the defense as to the bond request.
Judge, we're asking you consider pretrial services. If not, then a lower bond. He is homeless and self-employed as a handyman, so he's not making a lot of money doing that. He has one felony prior, but it's from 2015 and it's not violent. And he also doesn't have an active NVCA flag, so we ask you to consider all that in your decision.
All right, we'll hear from the state.
Yes, Your Honor. He's a 6 out of 6, and he has prior felony convictions and significant failure to appear history. He's not only been unsuccessful as a ROR, but he has been previously revoked on probation, which indicates there's a concern for complying with release conditions.
Thank you. Bond is set in the amount of $500. Pretrial services supervision if posted November 13th at 1:30. And the public defender is appointed. You've got an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a shoplifting and resisting arrest case, and that bond listed on that warrant is $500. Let me double check. Bond is set in the amount of 250. We're going to appoint Douglas Taylor to represent you as your lawyer. And you're going to be seen, oops. You're going to be seen tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pima County Justice Court on video. Tucson City Court. You've got 3 cases there. The new one that you have not been seen on already. You're charged with trespassing and failure to appear. This one is from September of 2024. So we'll order no contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location. And then you've got obstructing a highway, failure to appear in 2023, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, trespassing, a couple of failures to appear from 2018. $250 bond on the city court matters. Video review November 7th at 1:45. If you bond out on everything before then, December 8th, 9 o'clock in person. The city public defender will be representing you, and this belongs to Hale. That's it. You're excused. Thank you all. You're free to go.